If you've been watching this channel, you might have noticed that I'm a little bit more of a skeptic than my other two co-hosts. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. We review soundtracks here because all three of us do love soundtracks, but we do have different preferences and tastes in what we like. I tend to be a little bit harsher in my reviews than Michael and Robert, but hey, we're all different. So today I wanted to react to one that it won the Oscar for Best Score. And because it won the Oscar, I'm inclined to think it's mediocre. I personally think the Oscars are incredibly overrated, and so I'm not really expecting much from this. But All Quiet on the Western Front won Best Soundtrack. I'm going to give it a listen, and as skeptical as I am, I'm going to give my honest reaction. One thing I do want to mention is I have listened to some of the other nominations for Best Original Score, including Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I did really like that score. I thought it worked beautifully for the film, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but I also listened to The Banshees of Inisherin, and I was not crazy about that soundtrack. I gave it a pretty low score because it is very ambient and a bit eerie, and it's not my personal preference of music. I've listened to a couple songs from Babylon, which I did not like, and you can check that out on our channel. We had a reaction to a couple of the tracks on there. That one went a little nuts. But yeah, I have not heard any track from the winner, which is All Quiet on the Western Front. So I'm going to react to the most popular track on the soundtrack, which is number 1, and it's called Remains. The soundtrack is by Volker Bertelmann, and I am cautiously, I can't say optimistic, but I'm going to react anyway. Here we go. Can't tell if it's going to be eerie or sad. Maybe something of both. I did not expect that. This is World War I, right? Don't know what it's like creaking footsteps. This feels weird for a movie and like a period piece movie, essentially. Like, the electronics don't seem to fit what I know about the story. Then again, I'm comparing it to scores like Band of Brothers and The Pacific, so that's on me. Is he gonna switch it up at all? Huh. Well, that was not at all what I expected. It's an interesting direction for a movie set during World War II. I don't know if I personally like the electronic elements used. Like, I normally love electronics and synth, but I don't know. I need to watch the movie itself to see how that fits in, because to me it doesn't feel like it fits the setting, but I could be very wrong. I did like the creaking element. It sounded ominous and eerie, like, and a bit foreboding, because it almost sounded like footsteps or even the creaking of a ship or something. I liked the inclusion of that element a lot. And actually, as a track, I kind of liked it, but it's throwing me off because I keep thinking it in a World War I setting. You know what? I'm going to give a listen to the last track in the soundtrack as well, because that one's called Paul. And I'm really interested because the Fury soundtrack, one of the later tracks, is called Norman. And it's a very poignant track, and Norman's the main character, I believe. And yep, Paul is the main character of this as well, the protagonist, it looks like. So yeah, I'm going to give this a listen. I wonder if it is going to be that emotional thing, kind of like the Fury one with Norman. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Look at the sound effects again. A desolate feel, which makes sense. I wonder what those sound effects are. At the end, it's like the creaking. Like the violin. It is very desolate and fitting, I guess. But it's the electronics that are throwing me off. Ooh. Interesting way to end us. Okay, I don't hate the soundtrack so far. I don't love it either. I think it's, I don't want to harp on this, but it is throwing me off that they have the electronic elements in kind of a period piece. But I'm sure that's intentional. Maybe it is to throw you off. Maybe it is to give a different feel, because I know this is more of an anti-war film. And I'm sure obviously you need different elements in the soundtrack and the themes for a movie like that, as opposed to something like Band of Brothers or Saving Private Ryan or even Fury. So it is like, it's throwing me off, but it might be a good thing. I need to watch the movie and then revisit this, because I don't feel like I'm giving it the best shot because I'm just listening to soundtracks. But at Soundtrack Scores, we do listen to soundtracks primarily for listenability and whether we like them. We also do listen to them in the context of the films, if we've seen the films or if we played the video games. But so yeah, I don't know if this is one that I would listen to, but I do like for casually. But it did have some cool elements. I'm really intrigued by the kind of sound effects elements it had in there. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Let me know what you think of this, and how does it compare when it's placed in the backing of the film? Do you think it deserved the Oscar? I don't know. I truly don't know, because I wasn't impressed with some of the other nominations. But I hear The Fabelmans is a good soundtrack as well, so who knows. Anyway, thanks for joining. Give us a like if you like the video, subscribe if you enjoy our content, and I'll see you guys later.